We are just 8 days away from the Field of 68 being released. Duke is not going to have to worry about this problem. They will not be on the bubble. However, for all of the teams that'll be sweating it out over the course of the next 8 days, it will feel like 8 weeks. But there's still opportunities to make one final impression on the selection committee. But what we figured we wanted to do here is a couple of blind resumes for you guys to tell me maybe which of these teams deserves to be in the field. Let's do our first one here. Before revealing which of these teams is which, based on some of the metrics here, Myron, which team deserves to be in the field?
The team with the 53 net and the 90 Kim Palm rating and 312 strength of schedule doesn't look like it's in a good spot compared to the team with the top 40 net. And even though they've lost a bunch of quad one games, they still played a bunch. So they're in a good spot, I think.
Man, guys, listen, I know just by that team on the left, I know who that is. Sam, you're not getting me. I want that team on the left in the tournament.
And that team
Period.
just picked up their 31st win of the season last night. Miami of Ohio is that team. Now, this has kind of been a debate over the course of the last several weeks. We've already heard from one of the more prominent voices in college basketball. Here's former Auburn coach Bruce Pearl on the situation.
Miami, Ohio, here's the deal. Are we going to select the 68 most deserving teams, or are we going to select the 68 best teams? If we're selecting the 68 best teams, then Miami, Ohio is going to have to win their tournament to qualify as a champion. Because as an at-large, they are not one of the best teams in the country. And that's going to be a difficult choice for the committee to make.
It's not the first time that we've had this debate or argument. It's not even the first time we've had this debate or argument in this sport. I mean, you think go back a couple of years ago, we were having the same conversation on the football side, Lyles, with Indiana and pick your SEC team, whether it be Alabama or South Carolina that year. But like the sentiment remains true, I suppose. What are your thoughts on what BP said?
Look, I hear what he's saying, and also that most deserving, best. Oof, all right, I thought we were leaving that with football.
Right.
I didn't think this was going to be this difficult in basketball. But look, to me, Miami of Ohio, they've talked about how they've tried to schedule teams, right? There's not a whole lot of incentive if you are a Power 4 team to go and play a team like this. You can only play the games on your schedule. They've won all 31 of them. Had they lost one here or there, and look, I know they've had some super close calls against some not great teams. I have a hard time for a team that went undefeated in the regular season leaving them out of the tournament if they lose a game in their conference tournament. That's an issue for me.
And they're a lock now, right, Myron? We don't really have to worry about that.
Yeah.
It feels like it. At the same time, if you're Travis Steele, you don't feel like anything's 100%. And by the way, it's good to know that Bruce Pearl has a completely unbiased take on all this. No interest at all in whether or not his son may get into the Field of 68 in this conversation.
Which of these teams would you have more confidence in winning a game in March? That's not the purpose of the exercise.
Sure,
but
probably Auburn.
But we do this every year, right? You pick Auburn based on resume.
Yeah.
But how many times have we seen a team like Miami go into the tournament and they get a big win over a Power 4 team?
And we also know the MAC has had a pretty solid history in the NCAA tournament. Let's get to our next blind resume here. Look at the metrics. Pretty even. I mean, almost dead even. Stands for the strength of schedule. Both of these teams, according to our Joe Lenardi, sit in the last 4 in. Let's reveal these teams. Ohio State and Indiana, they will play each other today. Is this a win and in situation, Myron?
It feels like the Big Ten's ladder match, like WWE or something like that. You got to win this, and you get in very similar resumes. I think Ohio State having the edge with strength of schedule is going to matter. They have similar quality wins in the Big Ten. Purdue, Wisconsin, that's kind of what they're holding on to. This game matters a lot.
It also feels like not even just a game that you need to win, but you need some style points here as well. It feels like, because I think even with them being the last 4 teams in, potentially, you still need to sort of pad your stats here a little bit, get some comfort in there, because as we both know how close those resumes are, also with the tournament coming up, obviously, the Big Ten tournament coming up. A lot of basketball still to be played, even though it doesn't seem like it.
Ohio State's starting to get healthy, I think, at the right time. Their backcourt is, I think, pretty underrated in the Big Ten. They got that huge win against Purdue last Sunday. They avoided stepping on a rake at Penn State earlier in the midweek. Indiana has lost 4 of their last 5. Lyles, I feel like we've been doing the show for a couple years now. Every single time we're talking about the state of Indiana, and just this program has not really lived up to some of the expectations.
It hasn't, and boy, going 16-0 in football, like you want to talk about adding some pressure. I mean, if Indiana wins a national championship in football, with that program, that fan base, something that I'm very familiar with, like they're all looking at that, being like, all right, well then, how come we can't get this right? So I think they're trending in the right direction. We might have to do this 1 or 2 more times with Indiana before they get back to being the program that they want to be. But it is sort of funny that we kind of do this at the first week of March every year now.
It's just so rare seeing Indiana fighting for their lives on the bubble. These 2 teams that we're going to show next are not going to be fighting for their lives in the bubble. However, they are still fighting for a 1 seed. Look at the nets here, 8 versus 4. A little lesser, a quad 1 wins on the left side. Let's reveal who these teams are. The UConn Huskies on the left, the reigning national champs Florida on the right. Myron, is there anything outside of a UConn loss that Florida can do to get that last 1 seed this year?
Well, I mean, they keep winning. They're putting themselves in a good spot. I wonder if that Creighton loss at home is going to come back to haunt UConn, because Florida keeps winning, and that's still the one thing on their resume that makes you go, maybe UConn could be in trouble.
Yeah, it feels like that early season struggler for Florida, man, that really cost them. Yeah. Because I think we've been watching, and we've been talking about it the last, 5 or 6 weeks, how good Florida's looked, their front court. But just those early season struggles, man, don't know if they're going to be able to overcome that. I know you don't want them to, Sam.
Well, no. I think how many times in the college football season have we said head-to-head has to matter?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And UConn beat Florida. It might have been earlier on the season, but that result does matter. I will say this. 2 of the most recent national champions are playing their best brand of basketball in the most important time of the year, and that also matters as well.